recorded November 25th, 2024. Good afternoon, Henrik. Good afternoon, Rod. Good afternoon, Brody. How's everyone doing?
Fairly well. I see that. Have you been here for like 2 weeks and just on the wrong link or something? Because we missed you last week.
Yeah, I did like 2 shows by myself. I figured you guys couldn't make it. I was on the wrong show, the wrong street. Is that what happened?
Man, I wondered where our audience went to. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, we actually last week, I told you all this, but be interesting for our audience. We actually doubled our live viewership last week because of Microsoft Ignite.
Because of Microsoft Ignite. You know what? If you're looking at disjointed data points, it could be you guys double it because I haven't been around for 2 weeks. It's all the people who were like me.
No, it was like drama. Everybody's like, "Where's Edward? Is he okay? We need to tune in to make sure." Yeah.
Yeah, it was a strange series of events. I wasn't going to come. I got sick. I played the good citizen, and I didn't bring my cooties to Ignite. And I had to get well because I'm getting ready to head to an hour and a half. I'm headed to New Zealand. So I am in LA right now to break up the trip, right? And so ready to try to fly from Atlanta and have a gazillion hour layover. Say, let's fly to LA, stay the night. I've never been to Los Angeles. Ever. I've been to Hollywood next to it and everything. All through California. It was a good touristy sightsee thing to do. But immediately after I get off the show, go to the room, repack, head over to the airport, and it's an 11.5-hour flight from LA to Auckland. I'll be there. Yep. But that's the story of my life. Yep. Henrik, where have you been, man?
He's been to Ignite.
Is that what he's been?
Okay. Yeah, if somebody noticed on LinkedIn, I don't know. I posted maybe one picture or something.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah. Well, I just landed in Denmark yesterday. I'm still jet lagged.
Still jet lagged. Man, you are a trooper to still be up. I know the time zone well. I've been there.
Yeah.
Look at the picture there. Yep. Great. Where's
Gary's talking and he's asking if Brody was able to meet everybody. Look at that Canadian man. He's a tall guy.
He is tall, and I know Brody's tall because he was.
This guy back here, I don't know who that is. Who is that right
there? I thought Rod was taller. I think he's just shrinking though.
I'm shrinking because I'm getting older.
Rod and I are the same height. We over the years we lost about 1.5 inches in the weight of corporate American shoulders. But I knew you were tall, Brody, and I verified it by watching you standing next to Mark Bovranovich, and Mark is tall.
Mark is tall. Yeah,
he's a tall guy. There you go. There's his height. His head almost hit the security co-pilot.
Look at that. That 3 looks good. I wish I could have been the 4th amigo there, but you know what?
And Ray had on boots that were like this tall. She had on the Kiss boots. I think it was Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
She always wear
boots. His boots were intense.
Yeah.
So I don't really have anything to do, but I'll tell you, I have been working since I couldn't make Ignite and I couldn't make the GBB summit. I stayed in the time zone and worked. I got to do something I've never done with Sentinel. So I am setting up Sentinel to do ERP security, which is basically turning on the data connector and the solution for SAP. It is not as easy as you think it is at all because their modules are so customized that every time they make a change on the ERP side, it can change the data ingestion tables and you won't know because every time they modify a table, whatever ERP system do, inventory, this, that, payroll, voicing, invoices, they can dynamically create another table. So I think there's a very specific way that you set up the SAP so that when that data comes in, it will populate a table, even though it wasn't aware that table existed before the modification came. So I got Umesh helping me on my team. He's rock solid, and I'm gonna learn a lot from this right here and put it down. Big shout out to Gary Bushy. Thanks for joining the show, Gary. I'm gonna probably reach out to you for help. I think this is in your wheelhouse also, and do that. Noodle said he's coming to Redmond in January. Good for you. Noodle, come on up.
Hopefully they have power by then. We'll see.
That was gonna be my joke. Good one.
Yeah.
Good one, Rod.
Yeah, that's all I did this week. What about you, Brody? What did you do? Last week, rather.
Oh my god.
Was it this week?
All right. You went the long or the short version. Okay.
Medium. Give me a medium well.
Medium version. Okay. I fly in and to Ignite, and I assume that Rod and Ray are going to be at this party hosted by Uber, and so I get to my hotel late, and I get into the Uber. Sorry, yeah, I get to Tesla, and they're not there, and I'm just like, oh no, this party sucks without them. But I met some cool people. One guy wants to come on the podcast. He's cool. I found out you can fit a DJ and speakers in the back of a Cybertruck. I got to sit in a Cybertruck. That was pretty cool. And I found out that Tesla hosts the worst parties. They had Costco wine and like the worst like cheese on a bun possible. You know, like it was just like it was awful. It was awful. And but there was cool people. Yeah, there was cool people. This one guy came up to me and he's like, "Oh, do you guys automate? Let me ask you something. Do you guys automate your security operations and monitoring practices?" And I looked at him. I'm like, "I sure hope so." And he's like, "Why? Where do you work?" I'm like, "Oh, I work at Microsoft." He's like, "Yeah, I hope you do too. I hope you guys do too. I'll stop my pitch now because you're probably already doing it." I'm getting some lag on my end. Can you guys hear me okay still?
No, yeah, I still hear you fine. Yeah.
Everything's good. Okay, sweet. And then second day, I get to meet Rod and Ray. And I gave Rod a giant hug and Ray a big hug. And sure enough, I found Rod at the security co-pilot booth. And that's when I saw Henrik for the first time as well. And all these people that, you know, Edward and Rod, I'm sure you guys get this, but I'm not used to it. Where all these people come up to you and they say how much, you know, the podcast means to them and how great it is to meet you. But it's so weird because you don't understand that until people come up to you and say that, right? Like Rod posts numbers, like our impact was this, you know, blah 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 blah. But you don't really understand who they are and like the impact that you're having with people until like you come up and tell them that. And it was really humbling, honestly. So I'm thinking about doing like a write-up on that and talking about how that felt because it was really interesting. Like I can't really describe it. It's just humbling and it's a good feeling to know that you're having that kind of impact and the show's having impact. The show that you helped start, Edward. So it's awesome, right? All week it was like that. To be honest with you,
I think the show's a cumulative of everybody that enjoyed what we were doing. A big shout out to Frank Grimberg. Talked to him last week, checked in on me. Though when he asked me to start the show almost 3 years ago, I looked at him and scratched my head. I was like, dude, everybody's doing a podcast. What's going to be special? He said it'll do its thing if we stay true to what we're going to give to our audience. And you're right. It's the numbers and the impact seems so abstract that when Rod sends the numbers out and we do this stuff, you're like, okay, I get it. But then when someone says, hey, I know you, and you know, you on the show with Brody and you on the show with Andrew, or you on the show with so-and-so. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. And I really wanted to just wear the shirt while I was traveling to see. I had a hurry moment and left the shirt sitting right on the bed. But I hope everybody enjoyed that. That's something in Rod I have been trying to get for everybody, a shirt, you know, to swag to get out. And we'll make sure. Henry, you got yours. Did Morton get one?
Morton got one. We have about 7 left that I didn't hand out last week. So how many did you send me in the first place, Edward? Do you remember?
20.
I didn't count.
22. I don't know, 20 something.
Oh, we have 7 left, and that means they've all been given out.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere that will be wearing these shirts. Henrik actually has his on. Hey, show us your shirt there, Henrik. He's trying to be cool with the security co-pilot hat, but yeah, look at that. Microsoft Security Insights show. It's got the QR code on it.
And big shout out for Rod sending me design. I ran to my manufacturer that makes me all the shirts for my running club and my nonprofit. Wait till you see what I have on idea when I get back from Australia.
I want a cape.
Maybe a cape in your future. You never know. You never know what's coming. I want to see how the swag was being received. I think now we have to go ahead and say, let's make some really good stuff to give out and to wear. So I got some designs that are coming. So great on that. Rod, what did you break? this week?
What did I break last week? Oh, I'll tell you what I broke last week. Actually,
people's hearts.
Yeah, people's hearts. It was Brody will be right back. I don't know. Yeah, yes, probably. But at the same time, so it's just interesting to me. I was thinking about this today. How an experience at a conference, everybody literally has, even if you're together with this person or with a group of people periodically, everybody has their own conference experience, right? Because even some of my teammates on teams are all talking about, hey, we did this, we did that. I didn't do that. I did so many other things, and I really enjoyed my experience. I hope everybody else also enjoyed their experience by being able to participate. But my week started out, I flew in. My wife and my daughter drove in. We almost made it exactly the same time to the hotel. They stayed with me during the week while I was working. Obviously, it was a working vacation for me. While I was working, they were out doing the shopping and sightseeing and stuff like that. So they really had a good time in Chicago. We stayed on the north side, which, if you're familiar, it's outside the Loop, which it's really close to downtown. And they were able just to walk into Millennial Park and do all the good stuff. So that was fun. What did I break last week? So I had the very first theater session of the week on Tuesday morning. And I'm used to sitting here in this chair with this rig that I use daily. And, obviously I have a laptop to carry around when I travel, and it usually works pretty well. And I know that this works extremely well when I spin up PowerPoint and start presenting or talking to a customer or whatever. I don't get notifications, right? Because it's configured that way. And you would just think that PowerPoint would work that way across the board. But it's not PowerPoint's fault. It's Teams' fault. Teams, you just never know what it's going to do any given day, any hour of the day. You have no clue. It just takes over your computer. So I'm delivering this theater session on Security Copilot, mastering plugins, packed audience, by the way, and little Teams notifications keeps popping up. And I thought, it's kind of silly. So I made a joke, made light of it. But then later on, I found out that there was a reporter in the audience and took screen captures and told somebody about it. And somebody told me about it and said, oh my goodness, we're security people. You shouldn't have Teams notifications popping up and showing all kinds of messages. And I felt really bad about it. But at the same time, there's that love-hate relationship with Teams, because it just literally did not do what it was supposed to do at that point. So
I learned my lesson the hard way, because Teams popped up and showed something in the background for those who had been paying attention that shouldn't have been showed on if someone said something about a customer and frustration. And I learned this: when you don't want it to pop up and you want to absolutely know, put an out of office meeting on your Outlook calendar, and Teams will know you're out of office, automatically turns off notifications.
So I had out of office across the entire week last week for Ignite. So
you must have it turned on in Teams, because when I have it turned on, it says when you're out of office, it goes into do not disturb mode, and it won't say anything up to me. So, but it happens, man. Hey, it's good. If he's a reporter of any snuff, he can filter it out.
I would say so. Yeah.
What about you, sir? You flew he won't get this commercial. You flew 1,000 miles for that there Coors beer. That's
I flew like 9 hours, but it was rough. Yeah, it was a long way in my opinion, but I really also had a good week as a lab session proctor. But the one session that actually hit me was I saw one with Rob Lefferts, and there was a person called Ellie Ellie Mellon from Forrester. She was a hacker. She was working at Forrester now, but she was previously a hacker. And she actually had some really cool slides that showed everybody thinks AI is going to be this. And there was a picture of Skynet and advanced T-1000 robots and stuff like that. And then she showed what we are probably going to get with AI security at the moment. Then she showed a little cute robot on the next slide. That we're probably gonna get the little cute robot instead, but everybody thinks we're gonna get Skynet.
Yeah. Who's typing? Yeah. You sound like somebody. It sounds like it's a dog typing on the keyboard.
Not me.
Okay. Yeah.
Copy me.
That
Yeah.
was a funny session.
That was a funny session.
So I'm going to ask you guys some questions here. I get to interview the three of you since you actually, you guys got to go and I got to sit back and play reporter. So
Yes,
Brody,
that was swag. That was swag.
It was what? Okay. So here we go. You stole one of my questions. Brody, what was the one outside of the Microsoft Security Insights shirt that you have? What was the one coolest piece of swag that you got while at night?
He's gonna get it.
Hey,
this is modeled after Ann Johnson's dog, and they were giving it out at the Secure the Night party.
Not giving it out. Tell the truth.
Oh, you had to win it. Well, I got handed mine by Fasuja Call.
And I spent like half an hour with Sarah. She was trying to get it.
Trying to get it out of the machine. Yeah, the claw machine.
It had one of those. It had one of those things.
Yeah.
So Brody has a bigger story here. I think the Vasu gave it to you, but what else did you do at that party, Brody?
Okay. Well, yeah. So Edward, if you don't mind, we'll pause it. Okay. So that same day, earlier that day, I had a goal, right, to go and meet like as many people as I could. And you can't get close to like CVPs at like these big meetings, right? Like it's impossible. But Fasu and Ann Johnson, friends of the show, they were at they were doing a panel with two other women whose names escape me. They're somewhere.
Sharon and who's the other one?
Yeah,
I'll think of it in a minute. Sharon was the one that was doing the interviewing.
Yeah, she was great. She did a great job facilitating. And I went up and I just sat in the front row. I'm like, I just wanted to say hi to these folks, right? And afterwards, like Anne had to go right away, and there was like a bird flying around, and it was kind of freaking her out because she doesn't like birds. So that was kind of the funny part of the presentation. But then Fasu came up to me and gave me a hug and asked me how I was doing. And I'm like, oh my God, she actually knows and remembers, which was really humbling. And it wasn't like it was really sincere and authentic. And it was like, I kind of like walked, she asked me how things were going and keep in touch. And we just had like a really good, like quick 30 seconds. And it was just really heartwarming. And then that night when at the Secure the Night party, I'm in the back room. I'm with Henrik. We're talking with like my boss's boss, and we're just shooting this shit with all the Danes, and everyone's having a couple drinks. and who comes in, because it's like a multi-level, multi-room, large venue, and who comes in? But it's Fasu, and she like grabs me and a couple other people. She's like, "Are you coming to karaoke?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I've been singing for 10 minutes," and I'm like, "I didn't even know you were here." And she's like, and she's like, just drags us down. And then we're down on like the DJ dance floor, and like throughout like for the next like hour and a half, I'm a part of the karaoke crew, and I do not do karaoke. So this is like, okay, we're doing this, and she's got like the guy in charge of endpoints and Intune, who I think she was helping him with his breaking out of your shell aspect, because he was like a pretty like, oh, I gotta do karaoke, and she was like giving him the mic and stuff. It was really awesome. And then I had a beer with this guy, and I'm like, hey, what do you do, man? He's like, oh, I just run the biz apps division. I'm like, cool, sounds like you had a chill week. And he's like, told me some stories I'm not going to repeat. And then like at the end of the night, we're all singing "We Are the Champions," and we got Fasuja Call to your right, and everyone's just having a great time. We got these guys from Denmark. We got these Germans who are there, and everyone's just like singing their hearts out. And it was just like, this is super cool. And then we got the dog. And so, sorry, that was the long-winded answer. And it was just really cool. It was just super cool. Then she puts it in her blog, like, one of the things I like to do on these trips is karaoke with my coworkers. Sorry if we burst your eardrums. And I'm like, I was there. I was yelling. Yeah. Sorry, Edward. There you go. Yeah. Thanks.
It had to be told. That story has to be told.
That's you don't, and that's the thing about the non-tangibles of working at Microsoft. When folks get the ability to sort of let their hair down, you get two times. You get Ignite and you get Ready, right? Ready, the old Ready, Rod remembers, was when you met all your coworkers. You guys had a great time and all that. I don't know what they're doing with that anymore. We'll see.
It's coming back. It's called Tech Connect now, and they're sending some people from every team, but it's not like a 20,000 person thing. But I've heard the stories. I heard it turned like downtown Seattle, Bellevue into just Microsoft land, apparently, right?
It is amazing. And I remember a time that they had 2 a year, so that nobody missed it. You chose the first half year one, or you chose the second half year one. and you got to go, right? So they didn't want the entire company at one place at one time.
Well, one was Redmond, the other was Vegas, and always wanted to go to the Vegas one. Who cares about Redmond? Noodle wants to go to Redmond, but
so it's good to go once. Don't stay in Redmond, Noodle. Stay in Bellevue. It's way better. And yeah, Edward, you're right, man. It's just honestly, part of the reason I wanted to go was to see these folks who you see on the videos doing the announcements and everything. And I'm just curious. Like I ran into Sarah Young, and I'm asking her like how these people prep, because I'm just very curious, right? And she's like, some people, they need line by line. Some people are very robotic. Some people, you can go back and forth, and some people just know it, right? Like Rob Lefferts basically just knows it. He never looked at lines once, it seems. He probably maybe just checked his lines once in a while. But you're right, Edward. The point I'm trying to get at is it's nice that these folks are not just marketing robots, right? You go and you meet them, and you're like, I can have a beer with you. I got a hug from you. We can have a laugh about it, and now you have that connection with somebody that you never thought you would. That's seemingly so far away in such a large, massive conglomerate, but they're really a lot closer than you think they are, and they're really just people like you and me, and they just love security. So just to your point,
and you get the secondary piece that customers are there, and when you can find a customer that's there, and they say, "Hey, I really appreciate it," and partners are there. Since I don't know if they're reduce and expire for partners, but Ignite. I wonder what it's going to be like next year, because it got better last year. Sounds like it got better this year. I think that Microsoft has said, okay, we can invest in this safely now. That is back, and we'll
have 20,000 people next year, and twice the sessions, twice the labs, which means we'll need twice the proctors, Henrik. So,
and leave no doubt, I will not miss next year. I'm putting when you told me what the calendar was, I put it on my calendar. Take me some holiday. Whatever it's going to be, I'm not missing it, because the Security Insight show needs to have like a little sports center booth around when people come up. We grab them off the floor, and put them in the chair of truth. Yeah, we should get something called the chair of truth.
The chair of truth. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's a really cool idea. One thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Henrik. I'm talking enough. Go ahead, Henrik. Go ahead.
Yeah. Henrik, what was your one piece of favorite swag that you got?
Oh.
Okay, that's a slam.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought he was gearing up for a tattoo story.
No. I actually Blue Voyant. Shout out to Mona and Mika from Blue Voyant. They had and listen up, you guys really need to do this kind of swag. Wireless chargers for the phones. The one you put on the back on the phone, and they just attach with magnets. No wires needed.
I like those. Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, right. Rod taught me into getting one. I had one back in my thing here. Remember that pop-up thing you told me to get on that? Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, Rod's got one.
Pretty good.
Yeah. We the best way. Power bank that with the QI charger.
G or whatever they call it.
Yeah, precisely. What was funny, actually, normally I remember Ignite before COVID, there were tons of T-shirts. There were no T-shirts this time. I mean, literally not that many, but there were tons of socks still.
Yeah.
Even though I heard that they weren't supposed to take socks actually with them to the partner. Well, the vendors didn't supposed to have socks.
Yeah.
Officially, but everyone had it except Elastic, I guess, who makes the best socks.
Yes, I have a pair of Elastic socks. They're like bright blue and white and yellow. They're actually pretty good. Nice. The Elastic socks. Yeah, and they have the little toe. You put the big toes out by itself, like that or something, right? So, okay. The inside shirt is the one, and then sounds like you got a pair of Rogue or unsanctioned socks to wear, something like that to do. You got Rogue socks.
A cool, very cool thing at the security booth. They were giving out tiles, the AirTag thingy trackers. Mm-hmm. Security. I think it's actually this one, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they gave these out for free. And you
Henrik
didn't
came
even
up
have
to
to
me,
ask questions.
And I couldn't find Rod, and he's like, "Go put this in the back of Rod's pocket, and then you'll be able to find him anywhere in the conference." And I thought that was hilarious. We could put a tracker on Rod.
You got to keep up with me too, though.
So, Roy, what about yourself, sir?
Well, so let's see here. I have pictures for everything.
Good. Henrik,
So
by the way, I want to see a blog on
this is actually a pretty good story. I showed up. Was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. We showed up getting ready to.
No, it was Tuesday, right after the keynote.
Getting ready to pop. Oh, it was that Tuesday morning. Getting ready to populate the booth. Good friend of mine brought 6 boxes of swag during the keynote, right before the keynote, and we put those in the Security Copilot area, and everything in there was gone in 15 minutes. Henrik got the hat. I think I got that for you later, Henrik, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got this shirt.
I wanted the hoodie.
It's my favorite swag. There was a hood. There was hoodies. There's pins, everything. The unfortunate thing is we got in trouble for that. Originally, we were supposed to have a Security Copilot only banquet on Tuesday night. That got canceled and rolled into the just kind of general security karaoke party. And so we had lots of swag that we needed to give out, but it was supposed to be repurposed for something else later on, but it was gone by the time anyone told us. So.
Yeah, I can see that. Hey, where's that Copilot hat? You know where the beanie cuff I gave you, Rod? Didn't I send you that beanie cuff?
I don't know what a beanie cuff is.
Yes, I think it's in my closet.
It's a beanie cuff.
Because the hat that
I don't wear it every day.
Yeah, the hat that Henry has on, I have the first version of that hat, that trucker hat. It's in the home thing. Because I couldn't figure out which one to send you, Rod. I said, do I send him the trucker hat or do I send him the swag? I said, he's in Ohio. He needs a Scully.
Oh, like a toque. I got you. Okay, I got you. That would be nice.
So question number 2, Brody doesn't have to answer this because he's already answered it. He's giving Basu so much love in the karaoke.
Huh?
What was the favorite person and or event that you got to do, Rod? Who was a favorite person you met and had a laugh, or someone you wanted to meet, or event?
Well, I was sort of anticipating meeting Mark Miller, individual that kind of spearheads the SFI stuff right now. So I was able to meet with him and Richard Diver. Of course, I've known Richard for a long time. Him and I have talked in person before. It was interesting. Literally the first day, I was just standing at Security Copilot booth. I guess people expected me to be there anyway, and I think I met everybody that I kind of assumed I would see, like all in the first 3 or 4 hours. As soon as I walked in to get that Tuesday morning, I saw Henrik and Morton sitting over there. So I saw them right away. Saw some other folks from Denmark. Saw John. Didn't see John Saville till Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I met a lot of. Yeah, I think I saw everybody that I wanted to see. I don't think there's anyone that I missed or just really wanted to connect with. My favorite thing of the week, I'm going to be super geeky here, and was actually our labs.
Okay.
Our Security Copilot labs. Those turned out to be a good time. And our approach to labs this year were a little bit different. I just want to thank Kathleen Latterly for putting those together and putting the approach together. Of course, we all did our part to make them what they were, but after the feedback, just direct feedback after these labs were, hey, I've been to labs the past 2 days, and this is the best lab I've been to. I just love the approach. It was really, really a good in-person approach to learning about Security Copilot instead of somebody just handing them a guidebook, a lab guide, and saying, here, go to it. Just tell me if you can't read or, you can't, or if the lab breaks. So it was actually pretty good.
Very good. What about you, Henry?
I can actually start with, I was attending, proctoring 2 kind of labs. There was the Copilot one that worked actually very well because of Rod's speaking talents and entertainment skill. But I was also entertained, tried out the other labs where people actually had to follow, like setting up global secure access or doing secure score and stuff like that, actually following a lab. I could see the purpose. Well, some liked Rod's way of telling it that now we go to this and we do this, so they actually understand what they're doing. But I could also see people actually also adapting the other learning style, where some people just follow a manual. It was very unlucky that some of our labs didn't work probably that well, because there was some lag and stuff like that, and people, let's be honest, there were some people not reading actually the text, just clicking, and then they wanted help. But yeah, it was a very good experience. But my goal was to get a selfie with the godfather of Zero Trust. You all know who he is.
Mark.
I met him at the Secure the Night, and I was like, Sarah, I need a picture with him. She was standing talking to him. It's Mark Simons, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
He was on how many episodes ago? 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
We tried to pull him into karaoke, and he was like, "No,
not gonna happen."
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
One doesn't strike me as a guy who wants to do karaoke.
Yeah, but I got to shake his hand. He's a good guy. That's cool, Henrik.
But I talked to I forgot, Brody. You said your skip. I think you called it that, right?
Robin.
Yeah. He was an awesome guy. I didn't know who he was, but just talking to him at the night and connecting with him, he was really cool. So
really cool guy. Robin Wright runs the architect and consultants in the Americas time zone for Microsoft's consulting arm. Yeah, and he's a great guy, like super nice guy, likes e-skateboarding, surfing. He's like one of the cooler old guys I've met, alongside Rod and Edward.
Cool old guys.
Definitely up there.
Run Right runs. Say that real fast 3 times. ISD for the Americas. There you go.
People are.
All right. So you already asked yours. You said Vasu. You can't top that, Brody. All right, go ahead, Brody.
I got to go with Henrik on the last night. I dragged him out. We went to a pub, and then we went to the last party, this massive party, and it ended up being a really good DJ named something Ferris, Gene Ferris, and he was really good. And so I'm out with like the marketing team, and we go up to this guy because they shut the party down at 9:30, and there's this announcement that comes on. It's like, "Thank you for coming to the Microsoft Ignite show. Please go home." It's like something like that. It's 9:30, and so you see like me and a couple other people from Europe go up and like, "Where are you playing after this? It's 9:30. This is ridiculous." And so he recommends a club, and so a bunch of us like-minded people end up at this club late, and I get introduced to this partner in Switzerland, and they're like behind the DJ. And I'm like having a conversation with these folks about like Azure policy and coming on the podcast at 1 a.m. behind a DJ in downtown Chicago at like this hilarious exclusive club. I'm just like, this is surreal. Like, this is surreal. Starting off the night with Henrik and then ending up here. It's just like I can't even imagine that this would have normally happened ever. So I wanted to call that out. And also, and I'll save this for later. So just there's so many good things that were. I had to give one more. Thank you.
Also, because it wasn't planned, right? Brody just asked me, "Hey, wanna go have a beer?" Yeah, sure, why not? And then it just went from there.
Yeah.
Always the unplanned stuff that's the most exciting. That turns out to be the most exciting.
Were people ever able to tell you apart?
No, I can't do it now. It's AI. I can't do it now. All right. So outside of security, if you did partake in anything, what was an interesting thing that you either sort of walked by, heard that had nothing to do with security? A cloud announcement, a development announcement, anything that you guys say, "Oh man, God, that's cool." You want to go, Henry? You go first.
Yeah, actually, the Azure Local. Was it called that? Azure Locally. Was it rebranded to that? It's basically Azure Stack HCI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's now called. Yeah, but then I was at a booth talking to some vendors actually about it, and they showed me 2 slides. They showed me a piece of paper with the diagram and all stuff like that. And then I said, "Wow, you guys work fast. Could you show me the original one?" And then he showed me the original one, and it said Azure Stack HCI. And then I looked at the new one, and yeah, it says Azure Locally now. So that was the only difference. So it's just rebranded. It's still the same. It's still an Azure Stack HCI.
So instead of ML is AL, Azure Locally now. So we
Yeah,
come.
but they actually they mentioned a really cool use case I never had thought about, and that was because of Broadcom's VMware licensing stuff that's going on at the moment, right? Where the prices increase. They said you could actually use Azure locally now and maybe transfer them over and stay in the data center instead of migrating the servers to AWS or up in cloud and stuff like that to save money.
You could.
Yeah. I guess that would work for some, especially in Europe, where they really don't want to move servers to the cloud, public clouds, Germany and Sweden and stuff like that, and Switzerland.
That makes you could transfer it over to ACI or Azure locally, maintain it there. You still run into the license thing because I got that email today too. You have until November 30th or something like that to get all your VMware stuff squared away. I'm like, I'll do it while I'm at the airport. I'll go transfer all of them over. So Rod, what about you? Non-security, non-copilot.
Non-security, non-copilot.
The pizza place.
What?
The pizza place.
The pizza place? Yeah, I'm trying to think about those discussions. Other than Henrik had his first Chicago dish pizza.
Me too. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it was good.
I thought
it was gonna be better. I'm not gonna lie. I know everyone's gonna hate me now if you're listening to this and you're in Chicago, but I was expecting like something better than that.
Right?
I don't know. Yeah.
They make it so hurriedly now. It used to be a pie. Like they loved when you got it. And when you cook it right, you can literally cut it like a pie and bring it out in the layers instead of it falling apart with too much stuff in it, right? I think the proper way you make that, you cook it and it sits for the day. All the noodles and stuff and get absorbed. And you can literally cut it. And then you don't put it in a microwave, people. You put it in a toaster oven. You put it around in there, ready, moving around and hand it to you. So it's good if you go to the right place. You go to the right place.
Where do we go? We went to Lou something another.
Yeah.
I think I still have the receipt here.
Glad you got in. There wasn't a line.
Lou Malnati's. We had like 7 people. We were going to have like 8 or something.
It was snowing, so the weather was also bad.
Oh, yeah. It snowed like, I have pictures of that too.
Snow?
Yeah. Like for one morning, it was just like there's tons of snow here, but there's a lot of snow there. Yeah.
Whew. Glad I was
it all melted by the next day.
So this is a picture of when we left to go to the restaurant.
You got a nice little dusting. Okay.
Yeah. And it was gone pretty quick. So.
Yeah.
But as far as learning, so I've been kind of focused on this event for a while. It's kind of taken all my brain space. So learning something other than security and Security Copilot last week, I'm going to say I don't know if I did, to be honest, other than the other agents and stuff, because I was just so hyper focused on the things I needed to do last week. That's one of the things about working these things and kind of having to manage all the content and stuff like that. So I guess that's unfortunate in some respects because, I kind of had to not do some of the extracurricular activities sometimes because I just had to get ready. So,
yeah, I tend to make it a point when I go to things like that to find one thing out of my discipline pillar to go listen to, right? I'll go look at something like right now after you and I had that talk last week, right? For some reason, my mind had been super fixated on quantum computing and development. So I went through the Learn for Quantum Computing, downloaded the code to be able to write in Q#, which is totally right. I have no reference, but doing that. So, bro, did you go do anything other than security?
Yes, the first thing that came to mind was going to see Mark Rusinovich and Scott Hanselman in a presentation called Mark and Scott Learn Responsible AI. And it was hilarious. They went through effectively, if I could short form it, kind of under the hood about why you need to question every single thing that AI is giving back to you and the controls that Microsoft has in place to protect. Now, that can be classified as security, but it's really leaning more on just AI in general and LLMs and how to get response mechanisms, how to actually test or attack AI to trick it into giving you the wrong information. So I would say it's a little bit security. Everything I went to was security in nature, but this was probably the closest thing that was away from security. And those two just have a really good. They're friends, and they have a really good flowing speaking style, presentation style. But then they look at each other and they have those like cue points, like what else should we talk about? And like they've done this, so they know exactly what they're talking about. And yeah, I went with Henrik. It was fantastic. I got the picture right here, window. Oh, I hope it's this one. Yeah. Really cool. Those guys, right? So that was really neat. Yeah. So they let people come by after the fact and talk with them. So that's definitely one I would recommend. BRK329, Scott and Mark Learn Responsible AI. Definitely check that one out. And just super quick tip before I go, I have this up. This is Henrik and I at the party. You can't tell us apart because we're so cool. There we are, having a good time. Or you can't tell us apart. You know,
I'm
not
not
seeing it. Oh, I got to do every single individual window. Okay, hold on. Share, present, share screen. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm hoping for a good picture.
It's a good picture, man. I promise. I think it's this one. Yeah. Can you see this?
Oh, go to your tab. Go to the other tab. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, there you go, Henrik.
They scarf down ice cream, it looks like.
Yeah, ice cream and an IPA or a Bud Light or a Coors Light there or whatever. Yeah. Oops, now you can see everything. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So anyway, so that was a good time. Yeah, so that's it, Edward.
Okay. The next thing would be, you already told me who had the suckiest party. Was there a good party? Sounds like there were good after parties.
The suckiest party.
The rump. Hey, they went to the hotel.
Stayed next to Rump Tower. Yeah.
There you go. That's it. So it sounded like there were a lot of parties, and then
tons of parties. It was crazy.
Disjointed, you sort of had to figure out. So let's ask this question. How many times did Ray embarrass herself or spaz out? Too many names. Okay. That's fine. I'd love to be there to harass her, but I couldn't make it.
She's fun to harass.
She's fun to harass. She takes everything.
Ray is awesome. She's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's awesome.
I don't think there was a time, at least being at the conference center, that we weren't together. She wasn't around. So
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh, here's that lab. Here's that packed lab, by the way.
And I thought last year was full. Golly, that's nice there.
Yeah, it was packed.
I think sometimes the layout is the thing. Hey, was the young lady that I met last year there, Rod, from Learn? She was sitting back there.
Oh, Shirley's. Yeah. I did not see Shirley's this year. Interesting. Yeah.
I would like to have caught up with her. Wow, it sounds like it was an excellent time, guys. You got to experience it for the first time. Brody, Henrik, this is not your first time, though, right? Yeah, you've done it. You've probably done the ones when they used to do it out in Redmond.
No, I actually did all the ones in Orlando. 3 times.
Orlando?
Yeah, and that's the funny part. If people really were expecting you running around in Universal Studio like you did when we were in Orlando, I guess somebody got disappointed this time.
Yeah, I can see it. Chicago's that business city. I was going to put on my shirt. I had the nice shirt when they did it in Atlanta.
Cool.
So it was easy for me. I still stay downtown, even though I live in Atlanta. I say, no, I'm going to stay downtown. I don't want to have to drive back home, back and forth. And that was a pretty good one. I suspect it could be better now because that building that they did it in, the Georgia Convention, Georgia World, whatever that convention center was, they've torn that down.
Oh,
and
really?
They built the Mercedes-Benz Stadium next to it. Now they've built something else. Google was going to buy that and make some type of data transference data center or something there. They were going to buy that. It's called the Gulch. It's a huge plot of land that a lot of fiber in the city comes into. Everything comes into there. But I don't know who owns it now. But I would love to see Ignite come back to Atlanta because there's a lot more attractions now. You got college football, World Hall of Fame there, a few other things that are coming. But I got the old shirt from when they did it in Atlanta. That's pretty cool. Well, any stories and someone that you met that you didn't think you were going to see there? Anybody new there, Rod?
Yeah, there was one individual that just totally surprised me because I've talked to her for several times with customers. I don't know if you know Kat, but I had no clue. She walked up and said, "Hey, Rod," and I recognized the face, but you don't. If you've never seen anybody in person, you really don't know a person or what to expect. And I love Kat to death, but I did not recognize her because of her height. I didn't.
You thought she'd be much taller. Yeah.
I did, but you see people on teams and you just don't. Yeah, because Brody's super tall, and
Not that tall.
I was telling Ray that he was a monster, so we were looking for this like big bird type of person.
Brody the big bird. And let me see how disciplined Rod was, and then we'll go to you, Brody.
Okay.
Rod, did you run every day while you were there? You didn't run a single
did.
day. No, you did.
Of course I did. I ran every day, went to the gym every day. I did get outside one day, but that was after I had my commitments done for that day. So,
okay. Brody, did you run into someone that you didn't think you were going to run into or meet?
I honestly, everybody that came up who knew me through the show that I haven't met before, those are the most surprising people that I ran into. Honestly, for me, it was just like one thing after another, and I was just meeting people. I didn't even have time to pull out the lapel mics that we had planned to do like impromptu interviews. Honestly, Edward, it was just all happening so fast that I just forgot. And I downloaded the calendar for the sessions because I signed up for pretty much every security session, and I downloaded it like a week before. And half the time I was running around that place because they changed all the rooms last minute. And so one of the lessons learned was don't upload the calendar sessions until the night before, because like I was literally just putting on miles in not running shoes, just trying to get to things on time. You think someone's going to be presenting and you're stuck in like a not as interesting thing in a different room. But through all that, one person I did want to call out that I'm happy I met, if that's okay, I know it's not your exact question, was Mr. Where is he here? Here we go, Mr. Richard Diver. Very happy I got to meet Richard in person. I would have liked to meet his extended team, but I got to meet some folks who are adjacent, like Dasha and other folks in the marketing org. And like Rod said, Kathleen Lavely, who helped put on the labs, she was a really fun person. She helped instigate the second night out shenanigans that occurred after just basically going to bed the first night at like 7. So that was a big surprise.
There's Kathleen.
There's Kathleen. Yeah, she's awesome. And I want to shout out, and then Richard gave me a copy of his book, which was very nice. Guardians of AI. I helped him do a series of presentations on this internally, and he signed it for me, and he gave a really nice note, and I got a sticker. And I just wanted to say that how much that meant to me, because it was really good to see him.
Yeah, great. Henrik, same question to you. You bumped into anybody that you was like, oh my God, I got to meet this person? No, Henrik's like,
no, I had it I had it planned ahead, actually. I just write people on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you just
yeah. Where are you? I need selfie.
Yeah.
I think it was the other way around, though. I think people were looking to get selfies with Henrik.
Well, I was fortunate enough to actually caught up with Donna, and Sarah and Joey when they were at the scene, and I was like running to them. Hey guys, just a second, smile, selfie time.
We got to get some podcast selfie sticks, but the selfie sticks are going to look like back scratchers. It'd be like a little hand that holds the phone, right? So you can hold your phone and scratch your back at the same time.
I love that.
Yeah, I got to find my back scratcher. I have no idea what it is.
It was actually funny because it was my first time attending as an MVP at the event, and I normally I connected before COVID with a lot of people because I like to interact and network with people. That's just what I do. But it was really nice to see all the security MVPs again. We're a crazy bunch of people, I guess, but there were a lot of them, and yeah, we had the group picture and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm hopefully gonna see them again at MVP Summit in March in Seattle.
Yeah, I really want to, make sure I'm there every night, but I really would like to just have a insights party where people come to our party. I want to have a nice talking. So you guys come to our party. We show you how it's done. We'd be handing out pink slips at the door, pre-filled out. All you got to do is sign them when you come in. That's all you got to do. But we're going to party. Hey, where is it again? For me saying I'm going to commit to be there in 2025. Is it in Vegas or in San Fran?
San Francisco.
There.
They have a year. They have a year to clean it up.
Look at you, San Francisco.
I've got a year to work on my justification for going again. We'll see how that
I have a year to make sure that we have a tremendous, security insights party. I'll get Taylor Swift to come out, call her up, see if she'll be there, sing a couple of tunes, get some people out. I'll get Dwayne Johnson out to rock. I'll get him to come out. I can't find a shirt. He's too big. He's a small shirt here and like a 3X around his arms, right? Trying to get it custom made. Maybe he'll just cut the sleeves out.
It probably can't be hard, Edward. I saw the unofficial list of parties that Rod sent me, and I think if you just get a restaurant on board and you have a minimum spend and you drum up support beforehand, you can just kind of throw a party anywhere. I think
we can get it sponsored by someone. Quorum Cyber was there this week. Saw Ricky this week. So
I met Ricky. Yeah.
Not to you, Ricky. I sent Ricky some work this week.
Nice. There you
go. I reached out. I actually talked to Ricky this week, so that's funny you said that. I got that done. Thanks for helping me out, Ricky. I really appreciate it, man. But guys, I am going to drop off the show a little bit early because I am late. My wife has said, "Hey, upstairs now, pack. We have to get to the airport." And I want to say, man, I hate that I missed it. Too many things, too many auxiliary commitments. I should have just firmed up and stood my ground, but ultimately I got sick. I couldn't go anywhere anyway. But next year for sure, San Francisco. You know what? The Microsoft Security Insight Happy Hour. That's what we're going to do.
Happy hours. Yeah, absolutely.
You get happy minutes. Yeah.
You get 2 pieces of swag. You'll get a swag at the event, and only if you come to the party do you get the real swag. Oh yeah,
nice.
The real swag. It's right. We're giving everybody face tattoos as soon as you get there. Everybody get a face.
You wouldn't sign up for that.
Karaoke
guaranteed.
Karaoke. I couldn't carry a tune with 3 hands and 4 bags.
The DJ just turns down the microphone, and it's all good. Don't worry about it. Everybody made it silly.
Maybe we get Maria Thompson to come out and dance. She come out and dance for us and everything.
She was there last week. Yeah.
She was there. Oh, great. Well, we're not at the end of the show. Unfortunately, I have to drop. It is so good to see you, Henrik. I don't know when I'll be back on your side of the world, but once again, that was one of my favorite events of 2024 to see you and Henrik in person. I mean, you and Martin in person at the restaurant. You guys are funny. Kept me laughing. And I'm glad that everybody on the show got to see each other. We're sort of like that family you never meet. I wish I was there, but it sounds like a party was had and it was good. Yeah. And that's the thing that makes you want to do it again. And I want to say, thank you to Rod, and thank you, to Brody for, you guys have been the longest team on the show outside of me and just me, because Frank sort of went on. You guys are keeping it running, man. And we're getting ready to go into holiday routine. Let everybody, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, if that's your thing, if you don't, that's okay. Just have some time with the family and relax, put your feet up, have your meal of choice, watch your television of choice, do your favorite family activities of choice. I'm going to the land down under, and I'm actually going to see I'm going to call everybody that's been on the show from New Zealand, see if they're there. I'm going to go catch up with some of my guests in Sydney and in Melbourne that came on the show. I'll make sure I reach out to them. Merrill, I'll give Merrill calls. I want to see him, and I will do it. I will see you guys next month.
That's right. We won't see you for a couple weeks, right? Yep. I won't be on the show next week either. I'll be in Toronto for the AI tour. I think it's Brody and Ray, but we have a guest, Jerry Carlson next week. Microsofty that focus on tech for social impact. So that should be super interesting, especially as we head into the holiday season.
We get ready to go into Give in November. We're going to go around to Give the back part of November, early December. Jerry's a good guest. Jerry has a lot of history at Microsoft. I think he's been here like somewhere between 19 and 22 years, somewhere around that line, maybe. So he has some tenure. He's a good dude. If you never worked with him, very straightforward, very approachable and everything at the same time, and very knowledgeable. So to all our listeners, we're going to give you a rarity here for those. We're going to end the show. Well, I'm going to end the show. And I'm going to say goodbye and thanks everybody for supporting the show. I hate I missed Ignite. You guys be good.
Next time.
Next time.
And Henrik wants to come on the Christmas episode, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Christmas episode. We'll let everybody know about the holiday episode that's coming up. See you, Edward. We will have the episode where we have a bunch of people that stop by periodically. And we talk about, Thanksgiving, Christmas spirit, holiday spirit, and then headed into the new year where we'll take a couple weeks off and then we'll rethink, renew, and then come back even more
and repeat,
energized than ever. Yeah,
I've got a list of people who want to come on, so I just got to do all of that after I catch up on my day job. But I got really good, interesting people that are going to come on in the new year. I think it should be cool.
Yeah. Henrik, by the way, when is that MVP summit?
It's in March, late March, the last week.
Okay, late March. Okay. I'll probably be there. I'll probably be there. So.
Oh, cool.
I wonder if I can you be an MVP if you're an FTE?
No, not anymore.
you can I'll try my best.
Yeah, you can feel like an MVP.
It's the last week in March.
Okay, so I'll actually see you. There'll be 2 weeks in March that I won't see you.
Yeah, and I think
I'll be in Denmark that first week.
Yeah,
and then you'll come over to Seattle the last week. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
So we need to get Brody there. We get Ray, and we can get Edward at the MVP summit. Maybe that's how we'll do it. I don't know.
Rod, there's Henrik, MVP Rockstar, you, Advocacy Guru. I am going to need to pull heaven and earth to try to get to another conference that's not comped by somebody else. So MMS in May is my target. They actually moved out the submissions deadline to January 1st, 2025. I saw that today because I'm like, oh crap, I got to do that. Thank you, Noodle, for I know you're MVP. That's really cute and sweet of you to say that. But I don't know, man. That's the problem. I don't even know if I can get to Ignite next year. I'm gonna have to start working on justification now to even try. I got to figure it out.
That's interesting. So I think that would be great. Get you speaking at MMS. I think Henrik, aren't you submitting to speak there too, or no?
God, also you. Yeah, Morton's also been asking, and Brody has also. Yeah,
I'll back you up.
I know. We should talk about something.
Morton's going to be there no matter what. So.
I know. He's everywhere.
I'm going to make it about AI security, data and AI security. I have a really funny topic and the title all picked out. I just got to put it into a format. But I'll extend the same courtesy that Rod extended to me. Because Rod's amazing, and I'll help you if you need help because he's going to back me up, and I appreciate that very much.
I just don't understand, Brody, how you could not be at anything you wanted to be since you and Vasu have done karaoke together.
I'm going to pull more strings based on all the network connections that I made over the last week, and we'll see what the future holds. I mean, I'm going to try my best, Rod. I'm going to whatever I can do. You know me, I was even under budget, which is great. Although Ubers around Chicago got a little out of hand a couple of times. But
that trip for us where I got the lift between the convention center and I don't know if they charge more because of snow, but in that restaurant they went to, $109.
No, for lunch?
Oh yeah.
It was $95 for me to get at 7 in the morning. It was $95 for me to get to the airport from downtown Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's not right. Did you put an extra zero on the tip? What happened there? That's not right.
I didn't know, but
that's ridiculous.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's
all good. All right. I guess we will see everyone. Well, I won't, but we'll see everyone next week with our guest, and then we'll all congregate back. I think we have 2 more shows left in December before we take a little hiatus. So.
Nice. Good times.
Nice.
Thank you to our audience for tuning in once again, even though we're just sitting here just shooting the crap about Microsoft Ignite. I think it was a wonderful week, wonderful event, even though I don't have as many exciting stories as Henrik and Brody, but I still had a good time.
Yeah, Rod, it was great seeing you. Finally get to see our dad in action. It was fantastic.
I felt so privileged to be able to serve you your pizza.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got out of the building too, which is nice. Like actually got out of the building. Here, one more before we go. That's
One
Henrik
more?
and I at Scott and Mark's presentation. Yeah. Front row.
Yeah, I don't literally if you had been wearing the same outfit, I couldn't tell a difference.
Now we have the same hat. I got that hat in the other room. But yeah. Henrik, I'm gonna come to Denmark one day and visit you guys.
Maybe for Experts Live, where you can submit for a speech.
You could do it.
Yeah, you could.
Send me the details, and we'll figure out who's going to pay for it.
Oh my goodness, we could just literally have the whole crew together in Denmark the first week of March.
Experts Live Denmark.
Yeah.
Experts Live.
Because I think Ray and Joe, from who we had dinner with last week, or lunch with last week, I think they're considering doing the same. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
It's in Copenhagen and in a cinema and stuff like that, and it's community event. It's gonna be awesome. We can fit like 500 people or something like that.
Yeah.
Your name and picture are all over this, Henrik. Look at this.
Yes, it's because it's Morten and me and some other guys
who run it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. Let's talk offline. I gotta go as well. All
right.
Got stuff.
Thank you to our audience. We will talk to you next week. Henrik, any last words?
No, awesome Ignite. It was really great, and everybody should actually try and come to an Ignite event because the network is just gonna blow everything away. And if you like talking to people, and you'll connect with so many people that will advance you in your career, and when you have questions, you can just reach out to them. It's priceless.
Perfect. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect. I completely agree. Perfect.
I just don't want to leave you guys. I don't want to shut the show down, but
I know, me either. We'll do it again soon, Rod. Don't worry.
All right.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon.